So you got these two guys, you got Bazzy and you got Lewis on the show on the 29th at Gateshead, is that right?
And Trevor Crew as well.
And Trevor's on the show as well.
Trevor, we're looking to get Trevor's comeback fight on there. He's penned in to fight on that one now. It's pending a few things because he does have to go with work commitments. They've now got him going to work out in America for 2 weeks. So he's away at the end of this week. However, where he's going, we're in the middle of setting up for him to go to a gym out there and have 2 weeks worth of sparring out there with some good top level pros out in the States. So if everything comes off and goes well, we should have no issue, and Trevor still will be boxing on the show.
And who's training Trevor?
We are.
You are? Is he?
Yeah, Giuseppe Bivona, who's also Baz Razak's coach. He's the head coach of Ringstar Promotions, and he's looking after the lads that come down in this gym here and train at Vision Health and Fitness. He trains them. Obviously Lewis trains with his uncle and his dad up in Newville.
So how long have you been working with Trevor now?
We started working with Trevor and he was supposed to actually box. There was a chance to get him on the Gateshead show when Baz made his debut. However, he had a little bit of a lump on his stomach and it turned out to be a hernia. So he had to have an operation, have it removed, and he had about 4 or 5 months out. He's since back in the gym now and he's looking pretty good, to be honest with you. I'm pretty excited. Trevor's got the tools and the makeup to be a very, very good fighter. A very exciting fighter as well.
So this show on the 29th of November, it's Dennis Hobson's show, is that right?
Dennis Hobson's show, yeah.
So obviously you've been working with Dennis for a while now.
Yeah, I saw the way it happened was I kind of do what I do best. Got on the phone and I pestered the life out of Dennis. I think he was sick of me calling that much. And I was telling him the first time when Stewie Hall first fought defending his world title against Martin Ward at the arena, I literally pestered the life out of him to try and get him and Baz on. And I think what happened was, being a lot of Box Nation fighters on there just wasn't the room on the bill. So it couldn't happen that time. And we kind of had a gentleman's agreement that if it came back up here again and they went on, we'd get at least Lewis on first and foremost, being more established at the time. We'd get Lewis on there, and then if there was room, we'd get Baz on there as well. And Dennis being true to his word, I went down again, I pestered him a lot, and I went to Sheffield, met up with him, we had a coffee and we had a talk about, what we could do, and we got Lewis on the show. And Dennis asked, I did, what I'm supposed to do as a manager. I told him all about the boy, and he believed and he saw the excitement and saw how exciting Lewis was. Even though his shoulder popped out in the first round and he was fighting with just his left hand, Dennis still saw that there was something to be excited about there with Lewis in the way that he was. We've got Handshake on it, and Dennis is helping us promote Lewis. So we went to Sheffield. We were scheduled to box on his show at the Octagon about 5 or 6 weeks ago. However, that fight fell through on the scales. So it was a bit annoying. We took about 100 supporters down from Newcastle for Lewis. So for me, it was a little bit of a nag because it'll probably have a little bit detrimental effect for Lewis to sell tickets. That's why we've had to go down, well, not had to, but that's why we've kind of went down. We need a little bit of a bigger fight because these guys, fighting over 4 and 6s and 8s, they don't want it. They see his record and they just don't want to fight. Yeah. They're scared to take it. So fighting for a title, there's a meaning there. It opens doors. It opens doors. And for Lewis, if he comes through this fight well and wins this fight, which I'm 100% confident that he will do, I'm pushing next year. We're pushing for having an English title fight. That's got to be the goal for Lewis. So a lot of these journeyman guys, they come down and they put a lot of pressure on, but they're not coming to really knock you out or to really put pressure on. Rhys Pagan from Scotland's won 10 of 12 fights. He's going to come down and want to win that title because that title is going to open doors for him. That title will open up, might get a shot at the Celtic title again. We might fight for the English title. It could go on, it could knock him in the top 15, top 10, potentially give him a British title. Who knows? But the fact that he fights for this title will open doors. So he's not going to come down and just walk over and be a pushover. He's going to come and knock Lewis out. And if he gets the job done, that's what he's going to do. My opinion is that Lewis is going to knock him out within 4 rounds. Let's
get onto yourself a little bit more now, because obviously there's quite a lot happening with yourself. You've obviously you're managing now. Obviously you were a professional fighter out in Beaton.
Yeah.
And you had one promotion December last year.
That's right, yeah.
Obviously you haven't had a promotion since. Well, first of all, let's go back to December. How was your first promotion? How was the experience? And
it was nothing that I didn't expect. I knew it was going to be a lot of hard work. I knew there was going to be sort of bumps in the road, and there were. in terms of how I think it went, I think it was an absolute huge success. You know, it was pretty much sold out. It was a great crowd there. You guys were there, you know, you saw it.
Yeah, yeah.
The atmosphere was phenomenal. We managed to get, you know, a deal in place to have it aired on TV, which, you know, realistically, we don't get much of that up here in the North East, so that gave the North East lads a bit of publicity on there. You know, it was well documented in the press that it was coming off. It was advertised, you know, pretty much everywhere on the main roads. And the whole production, the lighting effect, the ring walks, everything that we put on there, I just feel was what was lacking. Not just in North East boxing, but around small hall shows. Don't get me wrong, it was costly, but you know, I worked hard behind the scenes to get sponsors on board to cover it all. So if I can do it, I don't see why all the rest of the promoters, you know, can't do it either and put that into what we're doing. It's only going to build the sport.
I think there's a lot of boxing fans in the northeast of England who are dormant, who simply just don't know what's going on. They don't know about the resurgence, all the fighters coming through, because there's only so much coverage up here for the sport, whereas it's been on the rise again for, let's say, the last 3-4 years. But before that, it was dormant for a while, and the media went dormant on it, and that needs to change. Yeah,
I mean, it's just because, you know, like you say, the media hasn't. I wouldn't say the one is dormant on it. It's there. What it is the managers aren't being active enough. That's what's happening. You know myself. I'm a pest, and I'll say that because it's the truth. Because I'm on to.
But that's your job.
But it is. I've got to sell my fighter. You know, I've got to get them the best purses possible when they box. I've got to guide their career in the right way as well as they box. And you know, it's only a short career. Professional boxing is probably the shortest career anybody can have in the sports industry. So we have to do the correct job. I'm only guiding the guys the way I wanted guided, as that when I was a pro. You know, so I'll put as many hours of work in on that phone in that office. I mean, you know, today we were on the phone and I had to go and get the charger because again I'd be on the phone that much. The phone was dead, and that's just me ringing around trying to get endorsement deals, sponsorship deals for them, sell packages, corporate packages for the shows, and do what we can do to do my bit really for the guys. The media just need to be constantly reminded this is what's going on. You know, every other week me and John Gibson have got a very good relationship. You know, like with yourself there, and we speak all the time, and I'm always updating you guys with what's going on. Even if there's not much coming off for a month or two, you know, we'll have that little bit conversation about this is going on, this is what's happening, this is what we're trying to do. We're trying to make this fight happen. If it happens, great. If it doesn't, you know, on to plan B. Yeah. But all the while, there's still an article we can put in there. There's still a little bit of press there. We can plug something, whether it's Facebook, whether it's Twitter, or Pinterest, or, you know, whatever it may be, a little video blog that goes out on YouTube, I don't know, Twitter, wherever it may be. Yeah. It's just out there, a little bit in the Chronicle, a little bit of local, you know, ITV Press or BBC, whatever they want to put it in. It's just getting the guys out there. And the more they're seen, the more the public will start to get behind them. And that's, I think, what we need to do, is get them out there more, which is exactly what I'm trying to do, is just keep them in the press all the time and they become a household name. Once you become, and they get that status of household name, they'll start to set up things like arenas and they'll become big fights again. You know, the guys haven't been in the Olympics, they haven't been at the Commonwealth Games, they haven't had that, the likes of Joshua and Luke Campbell, they haven't had that stardom from day one where you put them on a show, they'll sell 20,000 tickets just because of their name. We've got to build them to that, and I'm sure they can get there, but we need to do it correctly. And if we do that, we'll get there with it.
So last year, what are the plans? What does Ringstar Promotions bring to the northeast of England?
Well, you know, what we're trying to do is we're trying to not just sign up anyone because they want to go pro or they've had a few amateurs. You know, we want exciting fighters that I and the team believe are actually going to do something, going to go somewhere, can win. Not every fighter's going to win a title, I understand that, but we want to try and get a good stable of fighters that are explosive, exciting, you know, good value for money. They're not scared to take a little bit of a risk. You know, they're committed, they train hard. We'll look after them in the correct way. But like you see now, we're having a lot of knockouts in our fights because we're signing exciting fighters, kids that can punch a little bit, and that's what the public want to see. They don't want to go there and watch 8 fights of kids who are just going to be hitting each other for 10 rounds or 12 rounds or whatever it is. They want, top and bottom is, they want to see blood.
Yeah, you get the boxing purists who like the style, they like the skill, but your general punter, they want to see action, they want to see knockouts.
Yeah, of course they do that. You know, that's exactly what they want to see. And you know, without overmatching the lads and matching them at the right times, that's what we're getting. You know, we're getting the guys that come to fight, make the mistakes, leave themselves open, and they're getting knocked out.
So obviously you've got the lads fighting on the show on the 29th of November. What's the plans for your next show?
Yeah, well, the show on the 29th of November, we were actually originally going to be doing one on the 6th of December, and that was going to be in Newbiggin. However, there was a conflict of interest with the date and the venue, so it moved to this one. There was a few, up until about 2 weeks ago, the date wasn't confirmed either, so we were kind of in training camp, the guys were in training camp with no definite date or no definite opponents, because we couldn't confirm anything until the venue was 100% concrete. Now that's done, we know it's 29th of November. The guys have all, you know, well, I say the title fights have got their opponents. Baz will have one in the next week or two, we'll have them a good opponent. From there, you know, well, we've got Made in Thailand, they're a new channel that's just launched. They're launching nationally. They're actually filming the whole show. So for those who want to come and watch it, if you want to be on TV as well, come in, tart up, doll yourselves up birds and get in there. Guys, get flash, get the suits on, get in there and watch it. No, it's going to add to atmosphere as well, isn't it? All the cameras being there. It's a little bit of excitement. You know, it's cracking exposure for the guys as well.
Well, it was noticeable on the show you put on December, because you had the cameras there. The atmosphere was electric. That was partly, obviously, the whole lighting situation. It was a fantastic production as it was. But we've talked about it since then. The effort people made getting themselves glammed up. You're joking about it now, but the effort people make because they knew that the cameras are there, it does attract people. I know.
It attracts them in. It's that bit of, it's a sort of a platform, you know, all eyes are on the boys. If you know, I approach it kind of like a play, sort of, you know, theatricals, and centre stage is the bout, all being that, you know, everything has to go well for the guys, ideally to get the win in, training, done all the rest of it, you know, that's the main goal, is that they win. But approaching it that way, for me, works really well. It's sold really well, and obviously with, you know, Made in Thailand, we are coming on board, and filming this show, I just think it's going to add totally to the atmosphere from it. As well as that, the guys for that one night, again, the way I see it, are superstars that one night. They're on TV. This can work well. Ideally, you know, Lewis can be fighting for some big titles on Box Nation and on Sky Sports as well. And you know, who knows, maybe BBC or Channel 5 will come on board and they might want him on a show. But,
and after that, you've always got the Asian sensation as well.
I've got the Asian sensation. Don't forget the names: Baz Razak, Lewis Scott, Trevor Crew,
and Mark Clauzel.
Ringstar Promotions.
Been a pleasure.
Thank you.
Top man.